Who does not love excusing our dear Aunt Sally? I'm just saying, Sally is just a hoot. Okay, so order of operations, one of my most favorite things. Those of you that really love numbers or just you kind of like to know rules of things, order of operations is a really fun way to calculate algebra. So it's like a puzzle. But the way that numbers work is we have to do them in a certain order. This one here is just looking at our basic 4 operations with some exponents. So remember, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. That is taught in all of the schools all the time. Everyone sees it as PEMDAS, right? So we have P, E, M, D, A, S. P stands for parentheses. E is exponents, and that includes square roots. M and D, we want to remember M and D, which are multiply, divide. This just means that we're going to do all multiplication and division from left to right. So we don't want to necessarily do multiplication first and then division. What we're looking at doing is isolating the multiplication and division, doing it from left to right. Same thing goes with the addition and subtraction. So we want to make sure we do addition and subtraction going from the left of our equation all the way to the right. So let's just put this into practice. What I like to do is I like to do as much as I can and create a bit of a funnel method. So I'm going to just show you how to keep this really organized. In math, organization is the key. So right off the top, I'm going to look for my order. I don't have any parentheses. I do have exponents right here, so I'm going to solve that. So this would be 2 plus, and that's 9 minus, and then in this case, I have multiplication and division. So they're just actually right next to each other. So even though multiplication comes first, I want to be careful. I don't want to multiply before I divide. I want to do these from left to right. Massively important. 4 divided by 2 is 2, and then 2 times 3 is 6. So what I might do is do all of that in one kind of thought process. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. So then I have minus 6 here. I'm kind of shrinking my question down at this point. Now I have addition and subtraction. So addition just so happens to be first, but remember, it doesn't have to be. I just have to go from left to right. So try not to get ahead of yourself. 2 plus 9 is 11, and 11 minus 6 is 5. So my final answer here would be 5. Let's try that down here. I don't see any exponents this time. I don't have any parentheses, so I'm jumping straight to the multiply, divide. So I want to do that first. Multiply and divide. So here we go. I have 2 times 5, which I can simplify, minus, and I'm not going to write the 3 because 3 times 5 is a multiplication, so I'm going to actually multiply that as well, plus 8 divided by 4. I'm going to go ahead and finish that as well, so that's 2. Once again, I have addition and subtraction left over. I don't want to come over here and add 15 and 2. And here's why. See that minus sign? That minus in front of the 15 indicates that it's negative. So it's really easy to miss that. So just instead of worrying about if things are negative or positive, just go from left to right. 10 minus 15 is negative 5. And then negative 5 plus 2 is negative 3. So now I've again created this kind of funnel method that as I'm working, I'm showing all of my thoughts and my steps as I go. And I'm not showing every last tiny detail, but I'm pretty much organizing my thoughts and trying to get all of these little check marks, these parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, and so forth. I'm trying to get those checked off as I go so I can follow the work. As a teacher, I can tell you right away, if I'm looking at a test and I'm watching this and I can see your work, I can see right where the error was. So not only can I help you in the future pin down what it is that where you kind of went wrong, but sometimes I can give you partial credit because I can see that maybe the hiccup was right there at the end. Maybe you just did something goofy right here at the end, and I thought, oh my goodness, you're so close. Let me give you 4 out of 5 points because you obviously just had a really simple error that doesn't really show me you didn't understand the concept. You just made a simple math error. So showing your work, brilliant, especially for teachers that are just trying to find any possible way to give you partial credit. So that's definitely one thing that I think would be in your favor. So show that work so your teacher can help you figure out where you're goofing up, or if you can just follow where any of those mix-ups were, and that should help. Good job.